What up? What up? What up, good people? Ghost V Network back again at you. You know what I'm saying? We got my man D over here chilling. What up? What up? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good until I watch some episodes of some shows and I feel like fans don't get mad at me. It's always the lady. It's always chasing the lady that gets you in trouble. And it felt like every single show.
Right.
We speak about Warrior, ladies and gentlemen. It's on Netflix. Previously, it was
Yeah.
on HBO. Episode
Episode
2.
2. So yeah. Um Hassan, like, I don't even know if he even liked Homegirl. He was just being nice.
He was fascinated because how kind she was. Because everybody has been like complete kind of jerks. And he's
Yeah.
from where he's from. People had a little more etiquette. You could tell when he speaks and everything else. But he just liked the fact that she was defending the older man inside of that shop.
Right. And didn't care who she was talking to.
Exactly.
So we see that, all right. So basically they in this shop to get collect their money or whatever. And the
Yeah.
old guy didn't have all of it. It was like, it's a
Nope.
slow week. Like, I got you when we get it.
Mm-hmm.
So she comes in and like, yo, like, leave him alone. Like, you hype that you basically like all up in this old guy face. Like, just leave him alone.
Facts.
And she ends up dropping one of her gloves.
Mm-hmm.
And Hassan grabs it, dips off like he always do to go give it to her,
Mm-hmm.
and basically end up getting in a fight where he not supposed to. And of course he tears him up. But we kind of jumping the gun though.
Yeah, because like we gotta play the scene on why was he arrested and why were they there so fast? Because the
Yes,
cops were last episode ended with two people getting killed. Two
actually
homicides.
it ended up with a couple people getting
Yeah,
killed.
but well, the part the way start off first of all, the head mafia dude's son is he's a lunatic. He is insane.
Yeah,
He was getting some payback and he did some work. So there's
right.
bodies left over there. And then we also seen the scene where the girl, the Asian girl, came in. She knocked out two bodies of the
Yeah,
European
he's
side.
also doing work.
So people were trying to find like there's bodies everywhere. And then we have on the other side of Hassan's sister, and they're Chinese as well, but they're also with the drug game, and they're trying to like take over everything was happening. So there's bodies everywhere. So the Hassan's sister side is trying to collect their bodies. The cops are now trying to get the two European bodies that were put to bed because those are the people who did the crime in the first episode.
Right.
Trying to figure out, yo, we're not in Chinatown. We need to figure out this crime, see what's going on, which
And
all led them to this actual town.
right. So that was actually like one of the things that they said. It was like, yo, the commissioner wants y'all to go check out these bodies next to this English pub.
Yep.
And they're like, yo, that's not Chinatown. Why are we going there?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, yeah, it was the two that was on trial. So they go, and I like how Georgia is like actually doing police work.
Yes.
And they're just like, yeah, it was the Chinese. We already know. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they they jumped him, and he's like, nah, like, these are clean cuts. Like, and it's only like, it's not a hack job. They
Mm-hmm.
straight through, like, this could be one man.
Yes.
And they like, all right, whatever.
Pretty much, and like even got scolded for it and said, "Don't do that again." Like
Right,
as like commissioner was there, everyone else they wanted to keep it. They basically blame everything on Chinese men. They also say that we are just the street cleaners.
right. So then you see the head of the Chinese group, or the cop group, go into the building with the radical guy, and he's like, yo, like, you need to tell me who did this so we can get our revenge, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And the Georgia cop pops in like, yo, we like commissioner looking for you, like, where you just go run off to. And he looks at the radical guy, and the radical guy is like, oh, yeah, figures you like not from here. Like, you need to know what's going on." And he's like, "Is that a bad thing?"
He scolded him, bro. He said, "Where are you from?" He said, "Georgia." He's like, "You're not Irish." And he's
Yeah,
like, what you mean? And then also you find out that the cop that is in charge of the crew in Chinatown has a gambling problem,
right.
and that he was giving money to get basically to pay the Georgia guy not to go on there. That didn't work out, so he has to pay it back, and
He ain't
he didn't
even
have the
got it.
money, so he owns a cop now.
Right. And he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna pay you your money." He's like, "Nah, not with the interest and everything now. Like, you're mine."
Yes,
So then you see the commissioner come in and like, "Yo, now y'all gotta go to this other spot because these Chinese people is."
bodies
So that's
everywhere.
when you were saying like, as when they in the Chinese area, they're just street cleaners.
Hmm.
When they on the other side, they gotta figure out something and basically just blame the Chinese.
Every time, it's like no
Right.
matter what, they won't take the fact the radicals are getting mad because they paint the picture that there's jobs, and the jobs are being taken because of the foreigners and how they pay them little to nothing to see what's going on. And then the young lady that we're talking about is also the mayor's wife. That one was feisty and said that you guys are doing things wrong. How they
Yeah.
basically she was told to be hush. We found out that her dad pretty much gave her away for a contract.
Right.
So there's a lot
And
of like, it's a
and
lot of
she
like,
has a Chinese butler.
yeah. And he was told not to parade with him, and she's like, I'm just walking around. He's this my guy helping me out.
Right.
So that irritates people that are inside of this particular city where there is a lot of predominant Englishmen. And they see the foreigners as people taking away their money. Now they're saying taking away their ladies. And that provokes an attack. And the attack, the other Asian guy didn't fight back. He didn't just took it.
Right. He just got beat basically.
Yeah.
To the point where the lady tried to step up and they
Hmm.
grabbed her and was like, "Yo, like we doing this either way."
Yes.
And I don't know if she like bit him or whatever,
Hmm.
but whatever she did, they was about to go after her next. They ain't care at this point. It was like
No.
whatever. And here come your boy Hassan, like
He had good intentions. He had good
trying to give
intentions.
his glove, trying to get his glove back,
Hmm.
and he basically just whips up on these two. And you see Georgia cops seeing it from a distance and try to run up to help, but he gets kind of knocked down. And I think they was about to attack the cop too.
Yes, he was. And the thing about it was that wasn't Hassan that hit him. It was the actual
Right,
European guy. So we see that the other cops come over there and the commotion's happening. Every time Hassan leaves the sun, he gets in trouble. The first episode, he ended up in the battle on the other Chinese people. And this
right,
episode, he leave battle someone else. He every time he leaves, it just bad things happen.
right,
So you see the cop is like basically saying to the other gentleman, George is like, hey, that's not who attacked me. They attacked me. Well, that's not what I saw. And it's
right,
like, what?
right. He's like, "Yeah, I just seen him beat up two Englishmen and a cop, so he's going to jail."
And then like you check his thing, and he's wearing the suit, the colors. He also has the hatchet. And then you see that the mayor's wife, she's like, no, you have the wrong person. This is wrong. And then they also threaten to take the other Asian guy. She's like, no, you will not.
Yeah,
It's just like, dang, it don't matter what you are
yeah. It
arrested.
don't matter what happened. It's always gonna fall back as the Chinese did it.
It's just
Like
crazy.
even when they was picking up the bodies for the Chinese, there was like they didn't say, "Oh yeah, Chinese people died, so it was the English people." No, they was like they're in the war, so it's still Chinese that's doing this.
Yes.
So like you said, it's either way, no matter what goes on, it's the Chinese fault, basically.
Yep, and they get blamed for everything. So you see the madness happen, you see him in a prison, and then you go back to the mafia boss, and then you get the word back that he's arrested. And you also see the pressure of the English and the cops are trying to find a person to pin the murders on. When
Right.
everyone, as viewers, we know that the girl did it from
Yeah.
the head person from the house. But as far as like inside the community, they assume that it's somebody from Chinatown.
Right.
This is an outsider. You already seen the one guy didn't like him. He's like, well, nope, we're not going to save him. The head mafia dude was like, yeah, he can stay there. And it takes the heat off us. Like everyone
Right.
basically said, Hassan, you just Yeah, you made your
He
bed, you lay in it.
basically was like, you know what, this would be good if he stays because then they think they got whoever did what, and it'll take the pressure off of us.
Which is crazy. And some was like, I don't want to do that. Like that's my guy. But at the
Right.
same time, it makes sense. It does make sense though.
It do. That
Yeah.
like it makes perfect sense. Like, oh, now they got somebody to pin all this stuff on, so now they can fall back.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense because it
Yeah.
fits the bill. So you see Hassan in this jail, and well, first you go back to the dad in this meeting, and he's trying to plead like, "Yo, I'm hemorrhaging money because y'all not following through with what y'all say y'all was going to do." And you see this one dude gets on my nerves.
Oh, the councilman's right hand man, like the wise
Yeah,
one.
he gets on my nerves
But
because
he wants
not
to do the
only
drug
is he a
stuff.
jerk, but he's like a germaphobe too. Because you
Yes.
see him get a cup and wipe off the rim of the cup before he takes a sip, and I'm like, yo, he thinks he's better than everybody. Even the councilman, he thinks he's better than him,
He
but
does.
he just won't say it. He's
Because he
just like
wants to run the
playing his
drug
role,
stuff.
right? So they basically played the pops, and she went in there to try to talk to him, and he ain't give her no kind of time of day, and he's like, yeah, you shouldn't have been there anyway, and she's like, I don't know why I went to you anyway, and he basically agreed with it. He was like, yeah,
Mhm.
me neither.
It's like he's just a pawn, bro, and he doesn't even know it.
Yeah,
And like
he's a pawn and he really don't even know it.
he asked the guy, he's like, I
You
thought
know
things
who
were
else
in
is a
place.
pawn though, and they don't know it?
Who?
The old Chinese guy that's with the sister.
You know what? No, I don't think it's a pawn. I think okay, we'll get to that moment. I think let's go back to the councilman. The councilman, I think, is a pawn, and the guy that thinks he's better than everybody else is the one doing the drug connection with the Hassan's sister. Now, Hassan's
Yeah,
sister, you saw in the scene, was having a relationship with a fighter from China. So
which I
that
kind of felt like I knew that was going to happen.
exactly. But you heard the wise men. He's not dumb. He knew about the arrest, and she said, "How'd you know about that?" He said, "I guarantee you spoke that with the other gentleman. He knows about that affair too. He's
I
not
don't,
dumb.
I don't know. I don't know if he knows about the affair totally,
He has eyes, bro. He's just
but
getting old."
I do think he knows that they talk a lot. I don't know if it's like to the point where he think they having relations.
But it's alarming that she was like, "Wait, you knew this? You knew that? I thought you were
Yeah,
some old, decrepit man sitting up here." But the
like
fact
he's
is,
all right. So he's not a pawn,
mm-mm.
but he's like one of the pieces that you're okay with giving up.
He's the gentleman that knows how to keep peace because he's been in war before. So
Yeah,
everything he does, he even told her, "I need you to trust. I need you to believe in me," because he is trying to keep peace because he knows we cannot win a war. But the
right.
war and the chaos and the drugs are what she needs and the other councilman's right hand man needs to get their money across.
Yeah.
So they need the crazy violence. And even the other Chinese fighter was like, "Yo, he's kind
Are
of in
you
the way."
sure you want to do this?
Yeah, like it's. But I think she's so angry, bro. With everything that happened to her, she just wants to be the head person, but she's not even the head person.
Right.
She is just a pawn as well.
Yeah, I feel like. I mean, I kind of said that too when I still think she's gonna end up reuniting with the brother again.
Yeah, you did. You told me that the crew they
But
wound up being.
now that we see more of it, I feel like the Cancelman's right hand is gonna be the reason why.
Oh, absolutely, bro. He's gonna like finagle the deal to make sure that he gets some money because he looks down upon any foreigner. Like
Right.
she just get here for the resources. Now we get to the point where it goes back to the jail cell and we see that the mayor is a woman trying to plead and say thank you. I know you're trying to be a good thing.
Right. And they
And
like everybody is saying like they don't understand, so you're wasting your time.
but then he actually breaks his character and shows that he does understand. He does speak that language.
Right.
And she's pleading to him that you have to say you didn't do it.
Right. And she's almost like taken taken back like, oh
Yeah.
snap, like he can speak English.
because he played off like he knew nothing at
Right.
all. He
He was
just
just
sat
sitting
there.
there like, all right, whatever. Like not saying a word. But then right before she leaves, she was like, yo, I don't see you being a murderer.
Nope.
And was about to dip out and he was like, I'm not. And she was like, wait, is that English?
And the scene, and then you see the cop come down, everything else, and like she's like pleading, "You gotta speak for yourself." And then we get to the scene where we get to the old lady, the assassin, the head of the brothel, and having a conversation with the dillsman, the guy that
Yeah.
sold Hassan first. And then we see his wounds. He was a slave back then. You see all the wounds on his back from the scene before.
Yep.
And they're talking. They're saying, "Well, what's up with Hassan? What's going on with him?" And they mentioned that the old mafia wiped his hands of him.
Yeah.
So she looked at him and was like, "Okay, well, since that's not a problem anymore, how can we get him out? Do you have any
Yeah.
pool, any resources?" Which goes to your whole thing about them making a team. So if she gets him out, he's going to know they washed their hands of him, but she's still the property of the mafia team. So what happens then?
So that's what I'm saying. Like it kind of all connects to where this ragtag put together team is basically gonna end up like being having a battle each different section.
Yeah,
Cause then it's gonna be like, oh well, you got him out and we was done with him. Like you just messed up our scapegoat. Then you got the other Chinese group, like the dude was like the other fighter was like, yo, he's good. Like he could be a problem if necessary.
yes, and then he also
Like he
stressed
could
that
tell that he was like in a league above the rest of the other people's fighters. But
absolutely.
like he gave him his respect and was
Hmm.
like, "Yo, you sure you want to keep going with this?" But then you also got the cops and the government guy that's like, "Yo, I'm trying to do this backside deal." And when I'm gonna just say when he backstabs the sister, then it's gonna be like, "All right, well now." Like the woman of the house is already like, "Yo, like these Irishmen is like doing us dirty."
Yep.
So they're gonna have to fight each of these groups at some point in this show.
And I just want to see like George's. He's already getting tired. He's already
Right.
getting annoyed.
Like I feel like he's starting to see different stuff and he's like, yo, what? Like when he was in there trying to get his name and he was like, yo, just call him John or John Chinaman and that's it.
That's
Like
cold,
book him.
bro.
That's it. John
That's
Chinaman.
so
Book him.
so cold. And you see Hassan say, "I'm just John Chinaman. I'm nobody here. I'm not
Right.
important." And then also you see the other Chinaman was like, he told his sister like, "Hey, no one can know y'all related. If it
Right.
comes out that y'all related, it's gonna come off like y'all basically are trying to run both houses, and it's gonna be a problem."
Yeah.
So everyone's trying to keep things, and it's like you said, it's gonna boil up eventually. And I think with Hassan getting out of prison, things are gonna crack over in town, and
Right.
it's gonna be
That's
insane.
gonna be the start of it. If
I
he
just want to
gets out of
see.
prison, that's gonna be the start of it.
I just want to know if the son of the mafia guy, if his allegiance is going to be with Hassan because they don't really respect him.
Yeah. That that might be the only wrinkle in what I thought was going on.
He's brutal, bro. He is
Because
so brutal. He said he's dead already. He's
he's
like,
brutal,
now he's dead.
right? He's brutal and kind of a hothead, but like you said, he's loyal to Hassan. But I feel like with them showing him disrespect so much that he might just pop off one day and like off the head dude in that mafia. So then he would be next in line because he's his son.
Mm. We got some stories, ladies and gentlemen. We got some
But
stories.
but then, like you said at the table, his son wasn't sitting right next to him.
Now, other guy that didn't care for Hassan.
Yeah. So I could see possibly if the head guy dies, then he's gonna be the one to take over. Because they don't trust the son enough or respect him enough. So
That's
I
gonna
could
be insane.
see the son might be the the like wild card if he's on Hassan and the ragtag team that's put together, or is he going to try to take over his own group?
I can't wait, bro. I cannot wait.
It's going to be wild,
This is only episode 2.
right? And we already got theories going.
Ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe, join, comment, go watch the show. It's on
Yeah,
Netflix right now. Just
yeah,
enjoy everything. This is Warrior episode 2. Thank you guys so much for your time. If you're still with us, we appreciate y'all.
appreciate it.
Until next time.
Love and peace.